Hello, teacher.
Hello, Sally. Good morning.
Good morning, teacher.
Yeah, so before we start, Sally, I'd like to ask a permission. Is it okay if I'm not going to turn on my camera because my sister uses my camera right now because she also has something to attend to, like a meeting, and her computer doesn't have an external camera. That's why she's using mine. Is that okay?
Yes, it's okay.
All right, Sally. So thank you for that consideration, Sally. So anyway, how's the weather in your place right now?
It's still very sunny, and I am at my grandparents' house now.
Ah, all right. So when are you going back home?
This evening.
Sounds great, Sally. So if you can remember last time, I mean yesterday, we
Yes.
you were able to read this short text about money rains from the sky. Can you still remember what this story is all about, Sally?
It's all about one day there was a very poor residential area in the Miami, and suddenly there was a truck full of money that smashed into a guardrail and overturned on a bridge, and a lot of money came from that truck, went out of
Mm.
and dropped out the floor. Many people at that residential area, they was very surprised. They got their hand on, and suddenly after that the police came, and then they said that anyone who got the money from the truck must give it back, must go to the police station and give it back to the police. But there was just two people who gave back the money. It was a boy
Mm.
and a woman.
Yes, that is right. So it's great because they're very honest to do that one. So it takes one to show integrity to the public. And they truly deserve what the Disney did to them because the Disney
Yes.
highlight them during that time. So what about you, Sally? If you ever saw this situation in front of you, would you get any of those bills falling from the sky?
I think no, because money falling from the sky is something that cannot happen in real life. Like, it's a very strange story, and if it's come from somewhere, I will not get it because maybe it's belong to someone, and if I get that, maybe there's a big risk for me. The police will come to my house and arrest me for that. So I will not do it.
Yes, that is right. Okay. So thank you so much for sharing your thoughts about it. And thank you for thinking how or what the consequences would be if you ever do something. Yes, it that is actually a great mindset to always look for the outcome before proceeding with a certain action. All right. So here, Sally, we are now done with that story. So this time, you are going to listen to an audio and you retell the story according to the pictures that you can see. So here it is,
Okay.
Sally.
Unit 18. Money Rains from the Sky. Page 83, Exercise 2. Listen. Cover the story and look only at these pictures. Listen to the story 2 or 3 times.
Miami, Florida, USA.
Picture 1.
Early one morning, residents in a very poor neighborhood in Miami heard a loud crash. An armored truck had smashed into a guardrail and overturned on a bridge. The truck was carrying millions of dollars.
2.
The doors of the truck burst open and bags of money fell out. The bags broke open and money flew all over the place.
3.
Hundreds of people rushed to get their hands on the cash. "Money is raining from the sky," they shouted. Altogether, the people stuffed $500,000 into their pockets and bags.
4.
When the excitement died down, the police went from house to house and announced, "If you took money, you must give it back within 48 hours."
5.
They waited at the police station, but in the end, only 2 people showed up, a woman and a boy. The woman turned in $19.53, and the boy, Herbert Tarvin, 11, turned in the 85 cents he picked up.
6.
Herbert's honesty made an impression on people. When officials at Disney World in Orlando, Florida, found out about Herbert, they invited him and his entire class to take a trip there.
7.
When they arrived, the Disney company rolled out the red carpet for the 16 children.
8.
Herbert and his friends had the time of their lives. "We like to reward kids for good behavior," a Disney spokesperson commented.
All right, are you ready to tell the story by just looking at the picture, Sally?
Yes. One day truck. There was a truck that had an accident, and it was happened in the very poor residential area in the USA. The door of the truck opened and millions of dollars dropped down. The people in that residential area, they were very surprised and happy. They said money is raining from the sky, and all of them get out and got their hand in the money. Unluckily, later the police came to that place and informed that if anyone who got the money must give it back within 48 hours. The police waited at the police station, but at the end there was just 2 people who gave their money back. It was a woman and a boy. Someone at the Disney park heard about that story, so they invited him and his whole class to take a trip at that. When he and his class came to the Disney park, they rolled out a red carpet for 16 children. They said that they wanted to praise children for their good behavior.
Yes, all right. So thank you so much for retelling the story by just looking at the picture. It's so easy to retell the story if there are some guys just like the one here in the picture, because every picture tells a story. So it just depends on you whether you completely comprehend the previous text and by just listening at the audio. Okay, so I highly appreciate that one, Sally. Now here you are going to listen to an audio again. Then, when the tape pauses, you complete the idioms in here. So, all the idioms can be found from the text. So, here it is, Sally.
Page 83, Exercise 4. Listen and complete. Close your book. Listen to the story again. When the cassette pauses, try to complete the idiom.
Miami, Florida, USA. Early one morning, residents in a very poor neighborhood in Miami heard a loud crash. An armored truck had smashed into a guardrail and overturned on a bridge. The truck was carrying millions of dollars. The doors of the truck burst open, and bags of money fell out. The bags broke open, and money flew all over the
Place.
place. Hundreds of people rushed to get their
Can.
hands on the cash. Money is raining from the sky, they shouted. All together, the people stuffed $500,000 into their pockets and bags. When the excitement died
Down.
down, the police went from house to house and announced, "If you took money, you must give it back within 48 hours." They waited at the police station, but in the
And.
end, only two people showed
Up.
up, a woman and a boy. The woman turned
In.
in $19.53, and the boy, Herbert Tarvin, 11, turned in the 85 cents he picked up. Herbert's honesty made an
Impression.
impression on people. When officials at Disney World in Orlando, Florida found
Out.
out about Herbert, they invited him and his entire class to take a
Trip.
trip there. When they arrived, the Disney company rolled out the red
Carpet.
carpet for the 16 children. Herbert and his friends had the time of their
Life.
lives. "We like to reward kids for good behavior," a Disney spokesperson commented.
Okay, so thank you so much for completing the idioms from exercise for Sally. Okay, so finally we are done with this page. So let's move on with page 84. So I'm going to ask you some questions about the story. Okay, then you answer based on the story. And with your answer too, I'm going to add up some follow-up question. So here, Sally, question number one. When the truck crashed, what flew all over the place?
When the truck crashed, a lot of money flew all over the place.
Yes, okay. So what did people do?
People got out of their home and got their hands on the money. They said that money is raining from the sky.
Yes, but if you were one of those people and you are mindful about other people's feeling, about what happened in your society, Sally, so aside from not taking the money, what else would you do if you were in that situation?
I think I will report the police because it's actually an accident. A truck had an accident and there was a lot of money in that truck. So it went out when the truck had an accident. So it's not our money. We shouldn't take that.
That is right. I completely agree with you. So the good thing and the first everything that we have to do is to report the incident because of course no one would throw lots of bills into the sky. So something just happened or some accident just happens and to avoid um everyone to take money that doesn't belong to them, report it immediately, then the police will take care of it like that. Okay, so here, Sally, letter C, what happened when the excitement died down?
When the excitement died down, the police came to house and announced that if anyone get any money, must go to the police station and give it back.
Yes, okay, so how many people showed up at the police station and what did they turn in?
There were just two people showed up at the police station, a woman and a boy, but I don't remember how much money they turned in.
Yes, it's some the other one just turned in like I'm not sure too, like it's just a cent or not even like $100. So even though that
Yeah.
it was a little amount of money, it really shows their honesty. Yes. Okay, so that means the rest of the people didn't turn in the money. So can we charge them of stealing, Sally?
Yes, because it's not their money and they get it without asking. When the police announced that if anyone get money must give it back, but they still didn't give it back, so I think it's considered as being steal from someone.
Yes, because first of all, it doesn't belong to them. And even though the police made an announcement already, still they decided not to turn it in. Yes, so because they're putting their best interest first before anyone else. Okay, which is actually not, it's not very right to do that because karma is also along the way for them. Okay. And they're not thinking about the owner of the money. So how would that owner feel if he lost like thousands of dollars like that? Okay. And
Yeah.
here, Sally, what happened when Disney World found out about Herbert?
When Disney World found out about Herbert, they contact Herbert and invited him and his whole class the to join to take a trip at the Disney park. And when the 16 children came there, they rolled out a red carpet for them too.
Yes, because oh, do you think they truly deserve the award?
Yes, I think they truly received their award because they are just the children, but they are honest, they have good behavior, so we should praise them for that, and in it's like encourage other children to do like them.
That's right. So what moral can we get from the story, Sally?
Good behavior will always receive a good prize for that.
That is right. Well said, Sally. Okay, so what does this story teach us about values and character?
um I think this story taught us that money is not the most important thing, but our personality, our behavior is more important.
That is right. Okay. And in here, Sally, in your opinion, why did only two people turn in the money?
It's because they are good people and they don't mind money, but the other people, they they are not good, and yes, they don't have good behavior.
That's right. And you know that not all people are good, even though that they know they're not right, they will still continue doing the bad things. Okay, so what
Yeah.
does that say about our society today, Sally?
It says that our society today is going from worse to worst, and
Mm.
if we don't improve that, there will be more things like stealing the money or fighting, and it will be very and very worse.
Yes, that's right. Like it's sad to see how the reality is. But yeah, you are correct that many of the people were tempted with the money because we have this saying like money is the root of all evil, like that. But it's not always true because sometimes money can also give us happiness, and money practically speaking we need it every day to survive. Yes. And in this story, only two people turn in the money because the rest of the people didn't think about the consequences. They were tempted. And for our society, it really shows that honesty is rare. But it takes um one kind person to do it. Or maybe like it only has like one in a million people who would be honest. So even though that honesty is rare nowadays, it still exists like that. Okay, so thank you for answering my questions about the story, Sally. Now here, I'm gonna ask some questions about yourself. So do you want to take a trip? If yes, where and why?
I want to take a trip in the other country. I want to go to the USA because I heard that USA is the richest country and there anything there, so I want to see how people live in the richest country.
All right. Thank you for your answer, Sally. And yes, that is true that USA is one of the richest country in the world because dollar is powerful than our currency. Yes, but if
Yes.
you live in the USA for good and you are also earning there, it's just the same thing here. It's just the same thing to our domestic country. Like, say, in Vietnam, the locals are earning Vietnamese dong and they also spend in Vietnamese dong. In US too, like they earn a lot of money because that's in dollars. But you can only see the value of your money if you travel to countries that has how do I say this? Like what do we call that one? Like low cost of living, just like Philippines, Vietnam. We both have lower cost of living. So that is why many of the people want to go in US, earn there, then invest in their domestic country because the value of dollar is great compared to spending it in the US. So like what I'm trying to say is the people in the US, they earn dollar but they also spend dollar. Do you see what I mean? Like, yes, it's true that um US is the richest country, but the question is, do they really save from what they're earning? Because they're also spending in dollars like that. But for you, like, why do you want to go in the US, Sally? Like, are you going to stay there for good, for study, or for travel?
I really want to be an exchange student one day. Like, I want to go to the universities in the foreign country, and I think the education in USA is very good. So, if I am capable of studying in foreign universities, I will go to the USA. But just if.
Oh, yes, it is very possible for you. Yes, because I can see a potential in you that you will be an exchange student one day. Yeah. But with Trump's administration, do you know who Trump is?
No.
Donald Trump is the
Oh, yes,
president
yes.
in
Yes, I
United
know.
States as of now. But with his administration these days, it's hard to enter the USA because he's very strict with immigration. But who knows, when it's your time, then you'll be very fortunate to have that USA will have a president who's not very strict with the immigration like that. Because of course you're not going to travel now, probably when you reach college. That is why you have to be very good in your studies, take good care of your grades because being an exchange student, it requires good grades. Or if you can get A plus, A plus, A plus, then yes, that's like that is one of the requirements. Yeah, and there are
Yes.
so many programs too that will bridge you to go to the USA. Aside from being an exchange student, you can also work there, travel like that. But since you're still young, then the best option is being an exchange student. Anyway, so here, Sally, tell about an occasion when you had the time of your life.
Um, an occasion when I had a time of my life is when I
Mm,
went to Dalat City, one of the most beautiful city in Vietnam. It's had a very cool climate, and it's very chill and relaxing. So I really love to go there. And when I go there, I can take a lot of good photos because the view are breathtaking views. There are many flowers that grow all year round in Dalat, and the fruit there, like strawberries, are also very delicious. So I love this city.
all right. So how many times have you ever been there, Sally?
I have been there 4 times.
Ah, okay. Aside from the fruits, aside from the climate, so what does Dalat have where it I don't know how to ask my question already. Like, what does Dalat have where why tourists usually love to go there?
It's not a boring city, like just like other place like Phan Thiết or Vũng Tàu. It's usually see the beach, and there's nothing aside from swimming in the sea. But in Dalat, there's no beach there. There are mountains,
Mm,
hills, and there are many places to go. So it's not boring. And if I go
mm.
there many times, I still have places to go to visit there.
Ah, all right. So I just actually searched it on the internet what what Dalat looks like, and it says that it has French colonial architecture. That is why many tourists love to go there. Is that true, Sally?
Yes.
Yes. So aside from the climate, aside from fresh colonial architecture, and also the food in Dalat, like just like the fruits. So what makes Dalat different from Hanoi, Ho Chi Minh, and even Da Nang?
Mm, I don't know, but especially the most special thing in Dalat is actually the climate. It's very cool, and sometimes in winter it's very cold, and it's also very beautiful.
All right. Thank you for sharing that. Thank you for sharing some good features about Dalat, Sally. Okay, now last question, Sally. So what time? No, here. When you meet someone new, what makes an impression on you?
The way that they behave, the way that they talk to me, are they kind or something? And sometimes the way that people dress can also make an impression on me.
Yes, that is right. I appreciate it that you really you really appreciate the behavior of someone before their looks. And that is one of the best impression to leave to someone that we met along the way. And aside from that, how they treat other people too. Because how they treat other people will also reflect to how they're going to treat you one day. Yeah, so we really have to what's that to get to know someone first before we become friends with them. Okay, so thank you so much for answering my question today, Sally, and thank you for sharing so much about your country and for your great participation for today's session. So since it's already time, we'll just call it a day and see you next week. Have a great weekend, Sally. Bye bye.
Goodbye, teacher.
Bye.